6 to 8 p.m. CST, live on Facebook and YouTube. Join us as we discuss pertinent issues that relates to you and I with your host, Alinko.
Very talented young people who have decided to follow.
Then another year it starts again. Well, this is different.
We should definitely be talking to those wonderful people. Once again, we urge you to share the feed on Facebook.
Hi there, I'm Faida, and today we're going to be talking about the African diaspora in Mexico.
Whether UK likes it or not, I have to leave this country.
I became a member and a chief of the Vice Lord all in one day.
All these guys, winds are out of the north at Midway Airport.
His father.
Rice and beans. Okay, kids, we have had to come to an end of this beautiful set.
It's not about this.
This is the inside account of a week that brought the Rainbow Nation to its knees.
Right, essentially trying to inculcate into this. Welcome, everyone. This is the Progressive Mind Show. My name is Senna, aka Alinko. We're glad to be coming your way. Today is May 11, 2022. Very humbled and excited to be on the set today. We will be talking to two candidates who are running for office here in the state of Illinois, in the county of Cook. in the city of Chicago. One of them is candidate Meredith Hammer, and we have candidate Richard Boykin. Richard Boykin will be joining us at 7 p.m. this evening, but we're waiting patiently to get Meredith in the studio, who's running for judge. But before that, we would take the Captain Mike segment. We are live on YouTube. For those who are watching us on Facebook Live now, we encourage that you spread the word as we listen to our candidates this evening. We also ask that you, when you come on, feel free to share your comment, to share your opinion, ask questions as we engage with these candidates. For now, we'll go to Captain Mike and get some updates on the weather, health, and sports. The weather has been good to us for the past 2 days. No, actually, maybe 3 days. Let's see what's up. Hey, Captain Mike, we have you on, and can you take it from here?
Yeah, well, last 3 days, I've worn shorts for 3 days in a row, so that's something good. And today, right now, we reached a record high of 91 degrees at Midway Airport. That's 21 degrees higher than our normal of 70 degrees. So let's take a look at our forecast, what we're going to get into for the rest of the week. So for the rest of tonight, we're going to keep those southeast winds, 5-10 miles an hour, down to about 72 degrees. Still going to be a little muggy. Tomorrow, our dew point temperatures decrease, so it's going to be a little less muggy and a little more palatable for people who like the warm weather, like you.
Okay, looks like the network dropped, and that is unfortunate. We'll see if we can get Captain Mike back in the studio. But if you're watching, again, we will be talking to Meredith Hammer, who we are waiting on. He should be on in a little bit. But looks like we have Captain Mike back in the studio. Brother, I think we had a little glitch over there. You can continue from where you left off.
All right, on Friday, 85 degrees, winds are out of south, a little less muggy. Nice day. Saturday, a possibility of some rain showers, high 75, low 63. Sunday, possibility of some rain and some thunderstorms, high 72, low 60. Monday, really nice day, high 70, low 55. Winds are out of northwest, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tuesday, a little cooler, might get down to about 50 degrees. Might be a little windy later and have those winds out of the north. And Wednesday, looking right now, possibilities for rain and some thunder showers, high of 65. So looks like the extreme weather may be passing us by. And we're looking at sports right now. The Cubs and Padres are knotted up 5-5 in the top of the 8th inning. Looking at our English Premier League scores, like Chelsea 3, Leeds 0. Leicester City 3, Norwich 0, and these are final scores, by the way. Watford 0, Everton 0, the tie and knotted up 0-0 tie there. Man City 5, Wolverhampton 1. Now get into the health and fitness. We're going to talk about what you don't know about strokes may kill you. As you know, or you may not, I've read that as Black people, we are more likely to have strokes. And 70% of people who have strokes, unfortunately, will die. So how do we lessen our chances of having a stroke? One, as we always say here on the Progressive Mind Show, if you smoke, stop smoking. Smoking damages your arteries. 2, exercise and eat healthy. Try to limit the overly processed foods, the sugary, fatty, and salty foods. Try lean protein, whole grain foods, fatty fish, fresh fruits, veggies, nuts, and healthy fat. Know the symptoms of a stroke. We'll talk about that next week. We talked about it a couple years ago, but we'll refresh it and how to recognize when you or someone else is having a stroke. Very important. And regular doctor visits. See your doctors or your healthcare professionals. And with that, Sina, we're going back to you.
My brother, thank you so much for that insight. It's scary to hear that news on stroke and how it relates to, is it Black men or Black people in general?
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, it kind of runs in my family too. So I really have to watch out, and I get high blood pressure from both sides of the family. So I really have to watch out.
Okay, brother, thank you so much for that information. At least we know we can look forward to another 3, 4, 5 days of good weather, at least for the rest of the week and next week. So feels refreshing. We're looking forward to it, and you have a wonderful evening. By the way, happy birthday! I know we said it, earlier, but happy birthday! I hope you had a good time.
Oh, absolutely. It was
all
cold,
right, my brother.
We had a good time.
All right, thank you, and have a wonderful evening. We will see you, God willing, next week.
All right, and you really like Monday. Take care.
All right, thank you. Well, Captain Mike has given us his updates. We are gently waiting for Meredith Hammer, who is running for judge in Cook County. She will be with us in a little bit, and so while we wait for her, we would we'll try and take a few jingles while we wait for Meredith Hammer, who is running for judge. If you just join us, please share the feed. We are about to hear from our candidates at 7 p.m. Richard Boykin, who is running for the president of Cook County, president of Cook County, will be here to tell us why he's running and why you should vote for him. Again, this is a Progressive Mind Show. My name is Alinko. We will take this short break. When we come back, we will be looking forward to speaking with candidate Meredith Hammer.
The holidays are here. Wouldn't it be fun to have your children learn something new and exciting that is not taught in school? If yes, Kids Speak is what you and your child need at this time. We are launching an online summer program that would help keep your kid busy and engaged. Here, your child will be able to learn multiple different languages like Yoruba, Igbo, Swahili, French, Mungaka, and Mandarin, to name a few. It has been proven that young children are able to learn new languages faster than adults. Kids Speak also includes many fun programs that help the kids learn and play at the same time. Kids Speak covers a wide variety of programs. Whether it be sewing, cooking, baking fish roll, or coding, Kids Speak is your one-stop shop. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up at www.kid2speak.com and make your summer easier and happier.
Check out this beautifully made artistry of coffee tables made from a combination of recycled tires, jute ropes, wood, and fabric to suit your style. Yes, we make to order. These coffee tables can help you make a statement in your bedrooms, offices, and living rooms. But remember, we only ship within the USA and Canada after shipping cost is paid. Call Jasper Designs on 1-306-203-2650 or email us at doduyayra@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Jasper Love or follow Pearl Yara Agboka on Facebook. Don't be left out. Please place your orders now.
Hello, we want to welcome you all back to the show. We'll be going right into the conversation this evening. We apologize for the late start in tonight's discussion, but we do have candidate MEREDITH Hammer in the studio. We'll be getting back. We'll be going straight to her, straight to her in a minute. Before, I would like to remind our audience that we need you to keep sharing the feed as you come on. This is how we can get the message out. We also have 501c, so your benevolence in contributing to us goes a long way to helping us with production and getting us to produce these shows week in, week out. So we want to go at this point. We'd like to go straight to candidate. Are you okay? Hey, Attorney MEREDITH Hammer. Are you? Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, she's getting ready. So while she does that, I'd like to give the phone number to ring to ask questions. It's 815-277-5047, 815-277-5047. If you want to ask her questions or follow her story, or basically just if you contribute to the show, that is the number to ring in, and we will go straight to the feed to try and get Attorney MEREDITH Hammer in the studios. Looks like she's ready. Awesome. Hey, Attorney, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome.
I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, we can all hear you very well.
I apologize for the technical difficulties.
In this new world of ours, we have to deal with it, right? So
absolutely.
Everybody understands, we do understand, and so we will get on with the discussion this evening. First of all, congratulations for even taking on this journey, making a decision to run for a judge in Cook County. That is in itself a bold step. It's an achievement. So I'll say congratulations, Attorney MEREDITH.
Thank you so much. It is definitely a bold step, as you stated. Sometimes I can't even believe that I'm doing it, but I am. I'm on the journey. I have been enjoying the journey, and I've been appreciative of so many people and their support of their time, their finances, their encouragement, and their prayers, and looking forward to receiving the votes on June 28th to become a judge for the Circuit Court of Cook County. I'm super excited.
Great. So for those of you who don't know her, she has been an attorney for over 20 years and has experience in probate. So let me put it this way. She has 20 years of experience in probate, trust, and estate planning. She's also an administrator. She also has an experience in administrative law judge. She is a professor and a former deputy general counsel to the clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County. That is powerful. That's a great achievement so far, Attorney MEREDITH. Feel free to step back a little bit. Step back just a tiny little bit. Yeah, you're good right there.
Well, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. That's why I'm sitting a little closer to the mic.
Okay.
It's hard to hear on my phone unless I turn it a certain way. That's why I am a little closer.
Close to it. Okay, we
And
on set
hopefully
now.
my computer will come up soon, and it'll be a little easier for me. So
Okay.
that's why I have it.
Okay, that's
That's
fine
why.
then. That's
hmm
fine. Can you hear me now?
It's the same.
It's the same. So you're struggling to hear. So you have to, if you have to lean forward, please go ahead and do so, because it's very
Okay, yes.
important that you hear what I'm saying. That way you can
I
respond.
don't know if there's some way I can turn the phone up on the mic. I don't know. See, this is the first time I've done it on my phone. So you're going to get my red lipstick and my pretty face all up in the screen.
Okay.
For a minute.
All right. So let's see if we can get it back here. That is super close. We can barely see you.
Okay, there we go. What
Yeah,
about that?
this is good. Can you still hear us like this?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get it going. What is the difference between? I mean, you have 20 years in probate. When you say probate, trust, and estate planning, what is that?
So probate court, as many of your viewers and listeners might be aware, probate court is the court that you go to when a loved one passes away and they leave a piece of property, a piece of real estate, for example, that as part of their estate, and it needs to be passed down to their family members. If they may or may not have a will, but in order for the property to transfer to the family members, we have to go to court. We have to go to probate court, and we have to petition the court to open an estate. It is very costly and time consuming, in my opinion. And, sometimes it could take up to a year and thousands of dollars in order to open up an estate and to get the order from the court, from a judge, right, to transfer, the real property, certainly, and even any other kinds of property like investment accounts and things like that, but certainly real property.
Awesome.
So it's an issue. Trust and estate planning. If you set up a trust and plan your estate, you won't have to go to court.
Right.
You won't have to go to probate court. So I do trust estate planning to try to protect, the assets, a person's assets, and generational wealth, to try to pass down generational wealth to the families without having to go to probate court necessarily. Sometimes it can't be avoided, but certainly if we can avoid probate court and pass property without, the time that it would take and the money that it could take, we want to certainly do that. We want to try to preserve as many of the estate assets as we can in a family, and be able to pass it down.
Thank you for giving us that background. How different is trust, the way you explained it, to will? Because a lot of people are used to the term will and all of that. Are there any difference, or they're the same?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of differences. So as you said, a will is something that people are very familiar with. You can draw up a simple will. You can use a form will, where you write down, who you are, and you're of sound mind, and you have, property that you want to leave. You want to leave to, family members, your wife and your children. You draft it, you document it, you get it notarized, and you have it there. But with the will, you have to put a will into probate. You have to put it into probate, and there are no necessarily guarantees that your property, your estate is going to be distributed the way that you really wanted it to be, right? Because when you open up an estate in probate court, creditors can come in and claim a piece of the estate. Other family members can come in and claim a piece. People you didn't want to necessarily get access to your estate can attack the estate when you have to put it in probate. It's a court proceeding that is, public, and people have to be notified. So that's a will. That's that whole, it's a tool that is used to distribute an estate for sure. But the process, the method that you have to go through, that one has to go through when a loved one passes, is, again, time consuming. It's probate court. It's time consuming and it's expensive. A trust is similarly a tool, a methodology that one uses to pass and distribute an estate, but it's private. It is not public. It is something that you have to set up and plan and put a part of your estate, while you're living in a sound mind. And you, there are some technicalities in forming a trust and an estate plan. I apologize for the noise outside.
It's okay. No, thanks for the explanation. Which of these two it's more convenient, and which you would recommend based off your experience in this field?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. So, which of these two is more easier or simpler based off your experience in this area?
Yeah, it's easy, as you could imagine, to draft a simple will, right? It's easy to draft it, and it's inexpensive. It's a few $100s. But again, the complexity and the expense of distributing the estate from a will is where you get caught up. You can get caught up. The trust can be a little bit more complicated to set up, and it's more costly. But the way I look at it is the costs are on the front end with the trust, and you can actually accomplish what you set out to accomplish with the trust and an estate plan. It's going to cost you a couple $1,000s to set it up, right? A trust, right? And you're going to put everything in the trust. You're going to have to deal with an attorney that knows what they're doing. And it takes a little bit of time. It can take, a few weeks. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's an investment in your family and your, like I said, protecting and passing wealth to your family members without losing anything there, without your estate being attacked.
Okay.
I am much in favor of trusts and estate plans. With the estate plan comes like a power of attorney, right? A healthcare power of attorney. So I just believe that we need to invest in our families and protect our families and our children, and the assets. Trust me, pardon the pun, but this became a part of something that happened to me in my family when my mom passed away. I had, of course, set up a trust and estates plan for my parents. So when my mom died unexpectedly, she had a heart attack and died, everything was already set up. It was huge. I mean, the relief that I get even telling you this story about myself and my family, it is priceless. When she passed away, everything was set up. My dad, and I just, we had everything just bound in a binder. And we just, the funeral arrangements, everything was already set up and planned and taken care of and paid for. And, everything transferred seamlessly. We never had to go to court. A trust and estate plan was set up. The funeral home was already set up. We already knew what to do. Okay. So we weren't running around frantic. We were able to grieve as a family, my mom's death, and really celebrate her life. And we actually became closer as a family. So many times I've seen and continue to see families broken apart, to be quite honest with you, and fighting. It never fails. Family members, siblings fighting over, the property that mom left and that they had to probate. They had to go to probate. It's, when a loved one dies, it's a crisis. I always say I deal with people in crisis, because when a family member dies, when a loved one dies, it throws the family into crisis. So to the extent that we can minimize that situation as much as possible, we want to do that. And so I think that the trust and the estate plan, something, there is, I have partnered with Clerk Karen Yarborough's office to do what we call these virtual. Well, many times they're virtual and in person, but we call them property after death seminars. So we try to inform and educate the public on this very thing, trust and estates plan. But also, there's some other things you can do, like a transfer on death instrument, or a payable on death account, or the Secretary of State assignment beneficiary form for the vehicle. So there are a lot of things you can do, right? You just have to become informed to avoid probate, to try to at least transfer the assets and avoid probate, the cost and the crisis that one is thrown into, the family is thrown into when you go into a probate situation. So, I have a lot of thoughts about it.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I want to become a judge, really a probate judge.
Yeah. Thank you for helping us already transitioning into, the topic while we're here this evening. But before that, I would like our audience and viewers to also know a little bit background of who. It seems like your computer is back now. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Hold on a second. Let's do this. We will take a short break, and then you can try and see if you can get on there. That way you can be comfortable, and then we can continue the conversation. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So we have been talking to attorney Meredith Hammer, who is running for judge in Cook County. The county clerk, no, Cook County Court.
Circuit Court.
Cook County Circuit Court. That's what it is. Cook County Circuit Court. This year, look out for her bill. Look out for her information on social media. We will get back to the conversation very soon. Let's see if she can get back in. So we're hoping that you can get in. Okay, we're waiting on you.
Okay, I'm going to try it.
Yes, go ahead and let me know how. We'll try and get her back into the feed so she can continue with the story. But she was earlier telling us about the importance of wills, trust, and making sure that you are living a procedure or a process when you pass on. You are living your family and the people that would benefit off of whatever wealth and properties that you are amassing right now. This is very important. It's very important that you have a properly laid down procedure, so that when you pass, there is no chaos behind you. According to her, a lot of families and a lot of people have had to butt heads. Families have had to go at each other. A lot of families have had to be at loggerheads with siblings, just because of property issues, real estate, and when your loved one passes on. So it is very important that we pay attention to some of these things that are very pertinent to our communities. And so we would definitely want to hear more about that. She has been an attorney in probate law for about 20 years. So she knows what she's talking about. A former deputy general counsel of the Circuit Court of Cook County, and also an administrative law judge. She, in addition to that, is a professor. We will want to know a professor at what college, what university, what does she teach, all of that, and also her race in this her race in this Cook County judge. So we would, let me put it this way: her race in the Circuit Court of Cook County. Yes, her Circuit Court of Cook County. I always miss the Circuit Court. So We would see if we can get Attorney Meredith back in the studio. It is 37 minutes past 6 p.m. You're watching the Progressive Mind Show. My name is Alinko. We want to take a little break as we wait to get back, as we wait to hear back from Attorney Meredith Hammer, who is running for judge in the county, in Cook County. Let's see if we can get this rolling. We should. Can you, okay, welcome back to the show. Sorry about that glitch. We have Attorney Meredith Hammer back in the studio. Attorney Hammer, can you hear us? Good.
Can hear you so much better.
Okay, awesome. This is good, and we would, so let's continue from where we left off. You're good. You're good right there, Attorney Hammer. You're good right there. Okay. So as we continue the conversation, can you tell us a little bit about your background? Okay. And again, because of time, we have the next session we have Attorney Richard Boykin, who's coming on. So we want to be able to get into why you're running and all of that. But
Sure.
Give us a little bit about a short, brief history of your educational background, where you come from, and whatnot, please.
So, as you stated, I've been an attorney for over 20 years. I actually was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm actually at my parents' home now, visiting my dad. I come once a month to check on him. He's 83, 84. I think he just turned 84.
Okay.
Best dad in the world. But I went to law school. My undergrad is in computer science and software development. Let me say that. I have a bachelor's degree from Purdue University in computer science and software development, and what they call a green belt in Six Sigma process reengineering. That's very important to me, and I'll tell you why a little later, because I have some ideas as it relates to improving the court systems and giving people greater access to the court system by using technology. But so bachelor's degree, computer science and software development, attorney, law degree from IU in Indianapolis. I went to law school where I worked full time. Strong work ethic there. And attorney for over 20 years. I started out in, intellectual property law and sort of transitioned into real estate law and probate and trust and estates planning, as I said earlier.
Awesome. What made you go into estate law, probate law? What was the motivation behind it?
Good question. I was thinking about that. Actually, my mom became ill over 20 years ago and was diagnosed with leukemia. And the doctors told her she wasn't going to live past 18 or 19 months. And with that, we had to get into, I took a crash course in, helping her to, the doctors, she had, before she was diagnosed, she had actually lost her job, and we were faced with potentially some financial difficulties as it related to paying for her health care. But I worked that out. So we were able to do it and plan. And my mom, lived for many, many more years, over 20 years after she was originally diagnosed.
Wow.
And so with that, she said, Meredith, you need to help people like you helped me. And so I had sort of, moved into real estate and real estate law and married the two, with the estate planning and the probate work, because a lot of times, most of the times, the biggest asset in an estate is the real estate.
Okay.
It's the home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's just jump straight into. Thank you for giving us that background.
Yes.
Really appreciate it. And again, due to time, I know you have a solid and huge biography with extensive work
Yes.
in corporate America and in the community. But another time we can jump into that. And even with the rebate law, I think that would be another conversation to be had, considering the detail in that. But anyway, why are you running for judge?
I am running for judge to continue to help people, just helping them on another level. I believe that elected officials are public servants, right? And the judges sit on a bench, make decisions that change people's lives every day. I believe that judges are the highest form of public service in our court systems. And I've been a public servant all my life. As you stated, I have an extensive career in helping people, helping the community, giving back to the community, protecting families. And I want to do more of that on the bench. Like I said, judges, whether it's traffic court, probate court, divorce, family law, even criminal law, judges make decisions every day that changes people's lives. They touch our lives. You're gonna possibly, come before a judge, before any other elected official, before the governor, before this congressman. Yeah. So you judges, even whether it's traffic court, like I said, or even probate court, if someone passes away, you're going to have to go before a judge or deal with a judge. So I just think that they're super important, and I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to, help give people better access to government, to the courts in particular. And I just want to continue to help and serve. I just want to do it on another level.
Are you a politician? Would you consider yourself as a politician?
I think that I have become a politician throughout the course of this campaign. I think that one needs to become a politician when you're campaigning and you're seeking election and you're seeking votes. I would say that I am certainly now
a politician. Okay. Is politics bad? Can you respond to that?
I mean, I think that, not necessarily. I think that there is some politicking in the politics.
Okay.
It has been a challenging journey.
Okay, good. Now, can a judge be a politician and vice versa?
The judges are supposed to be, and I think I am, nonpartisan. We don't take sides, right? I can't even, as a judicial candidate and judges, we have to uphold. There's something called the judicial canons, ethics. There's an ethical code that we live by. And I live by it, even if I'm not a judge. I think I know that there is a code of ethics for attorneys as well. So, judges, we can't, decide on the issues, before we see them, certainly before we see the facts, and we're obligated to uphold the law. So, a lot of times I'll get questions like, what do you think about Roe v. Wade? Or what do you think? I can't answer the question. I am obligated as a judge, and I'm going to become a judge, to uphold the law. Regardless of my personal feelings or what I think about it, I'm obligated to uphold the law. Now, there is some judicial discretion, in some cases. And so, that's where, my background and my work and
moral values.
Record, like you said, my principles that I live by, my values, that's why I talk about all that, how I was raised, strong work ethic. I was well loved, so I care about people. I'm confident. I'm a confident Black woman. And I, my mom, my parents instilled that into me. And that's why I talk about them so much. My family, my dad, I respect, people. I'm a respecter of persons, no matter who you are or how you, what color you are, what socioeconomic level, gender, sexual orientation. I'm a respecter of people. And I have helped all kinds of people, sorts of people from all different walks of life, from all those different categories. So that's why I talk about my background, so where I'm coming from and how I would potentially operate and serve as a judge, because it is a service, it is a public service.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Per your experience in your profession and in life, there is a definition for justice and injustice. What is your own definition of injustice? What would you say that is?
I think it's about not respecting people. It's not about being fair and equitable, not just applying the law or equally, but equitably. So, by that, I mean, we don't all come to the courtroom at the same level. We may have equal access to it. We may be in a court, but we don't all come to it at the same level or the same space, the same, Black people have been discriminated against and continue to be. Black women. I, as an attorney, even today, it's sad to say, I'm often, I believe, discriminated against, talked down to, not given a fair opportunity to even present my case or my client's case. That's an injustice, right? That is an injustice because we are not treated, anytime that, people come into a courtroom or in a situation where they are not treated equitably, right? And given an equitable access to a fair trial case decision, that's an injustice. Anybody, not just Black people, anyone, anytime they're not treated equitably. And so because of my background, because of me being a Black woman, because of me being, one of the few Black attorneys, female attorneys who's even practices in my area of law, and so therefore fewer judges, I'm going to have a different perspective. When I'm sitting on the bench, when I'm deciding on the facts, I'm going to be looking at all of the facts and take into consideration, a lot of other and additional information that, someone else, another judge, another type of judge who doesn't have, the background that I have and doesn't have the point of view and the perspective that I have would consider. So, representation matters. We hear that's a buzzword, but it truly does. We just recently, after 232 years now, 232 years since the Supreme Court has been in existence, first after 232 years, the first Black woman to sit on the highest court in the land. She didn't start out there, right? She had to start as an attorney. She didn't start out as a judge at the circuit court level, the federal level. She didn't start out there. Recently, just yesterday in Illinois, first Black woman on the Illinois Supreme Court. First Black woman. She didn't start out there. There's levels to it: circuit court, appellate court, Supreme Court. So representation matters, point of view matters, perspective matters. And if you don't respect people and you don't treat them equitably and apply the law equitably and fair, then that's an injustice.
Thank you for a great response. Really appreciate it. I am sure that you have noticed, and some of them you stated in your response earlier, some of the inconsistencies, if I may use that word, in the judicial system or in the court system, right? Can you maybe give us a list of maybe your top 3 or top 5 priorities that you would want to work hard towards changing, or at least curbing, so that the judicial system can be effective and can be so we can have equity for all? So what will be those?
So my biggest thing, because I have worked in the circuit court on the clerk side of the house. The clerk of the circuit court is the keeper of the record, and I've had a chance to see, and I say, I have a unique view into the court system because I have had a chance to work on that side of the house. And I'm licensed in Illinois as well as in Indiana and the District of Columbia. I have practiced in 3 different jurisdictions. I'm still licensed and I still practice in Indiana as well. Okay. So I have a little bit of a unique view. I see how things are done differently in other jurisdictions. Right. I see how things are done. I see where Cook County is from a technology perspective. And again, my background is in technology and software development and the whole process reengineering. It sounds like a boring topic, but it's very much needed. The pandemic forced the use of technology.
Yep.
The pandemic forced us to be able to have hearings on Zoom. Yep. I have been preaching that for years. The legal field is the last frontier, in my opinion, that comes to technology. When we implemented the case management system on the criminal side in Cook County, the clerk's office did that. There was so much pushback from the judges, right? I've had judges tell me, I'll use the computer as a paperweight on my bench, right? Because they were a resistance to change. They were on paper, carbon copy. I mean, can you imagine having a more effective case management system where we're removing paper through the technology? There's a lot that we can do that still needs to be done. Just even, like I said, as simple as something as having hearings on Zoom. People don't have to take off work. They don't have to hire childcare. They don't have to risk losing their jobs. By coming to court. That feeds into the whole. They don't call them cash bail algorithms anymore, but the risk assessment tools that are potentially going to be used to do the cash bail thing. So technology can be utilized more effectively, to reduce costs, to make bring greater access to the courts, right? People can get access to the courts regardless if you can't take off work, or you can still. I haven't physically been in court for over 2 years, and I'm still practicing in Indiana. While I reside in Illinois, I'm still helping people. I have clients that live down close to the border. I may have had a loved one who died I have just recently did that. Have a client whose loved one died in LaPorte County, Indiana. I have my license in Indiana. The court costs, the probate costs in Indiana are $500 versus $1,100 just for the court costs for probate. That's a big difference. I believe that we can help that by the use of technology and refining technology, we can reduce some of the costs so that people don't lose a home because they can't afford the $1,100 court costs. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And that would be your top priority.
My top priority would be to, continue to use technology and the right kind of technology because I know how to do it. I don't know that there's any other judicial candidate.
Right. To improve the judicial.
To improve the case administration and their judicial administration, to improve the court systems and access to the court systems.
Now, you would not have, how would you do that? Because if you become a judge, you're only one of the judges among many, right? And do you have like a president or someone who oversees the entire
we got a Chief Judge Jim Evans, who is awesome.
Say that again?
Chief Judge Evans. Evans.
Okay, and what's his position?
He's the chief judge.
Okay, and he oversees the court system?
The judges. The judges. Okay. And then each area has a presiding judge, like, probate court has a presiding judge. So you have your different areas. So, I think it's about getting in, becoming a part of it, providing and adding value. That's what I do. I've done everywhere on every job. That's what I did at the clerk's office. Oftentimes the clerk Dorothy Brown at the time would ask me, how do you do this? Because I had implemented the case management system in Marion County. And so we were doing it in Credential. She said, what changes do we need to make? Oh, go over there and talk to Odyssey about, the business, that cycle, for that process, right? So, yeah, I think that I can add value and just like I'm talking to you and making my case for the court systems, it's not going to take me that much time to become the presiding judge in probate, or even, the Chief Judge Evans, at some point, maybe when he resigns, I'll get there. So I think that this is a start for me, and a pathway for me to just become more effective, and like I said, to provide greater access to people, to the court systems, and just continue to serve at a higher level.
No, that's brilliant. How has the campaign been for you so far?
I said when I started this journey, because it is a journey, and I started last June, that I said that I was going to enjoy it. I mean, it's been a challenge every step of the way, financially, emotionally, physically. Collecting signatures we don't have enough time to talk about it, but I love it. I'm getting emotional to talk about it because it's super important to me. This is a personal thing for me. It's a personal accomplishment. It's a milestone in my life. It's super important. So it's been great for me.
Have you gone past the signature collection stage yet?
Yeah, we're on the ballot. We didn't get challenged. We collected over 10,300 signatures. We needed 2,567 good signatures. So many people helped me.
Wow.
Many people stepped up. We're on the ballot. We're just waiting for punch numbers this week. I'm hopeful we'll get the punch numbers, but I've been campaigning and passing out palm cards and doing shows like this and getting the word out. Meredith Hammer for judge. I say, remember it's hammer time.
You said you're waiting for what? The punch number?
The punch number.
Okay, so people can identify you with that number. So when the day comes, they can punch that number, right? They can
early voting starts June 13th and runs up to June 27th. The election day is June 28th. It's in the summer months. We have no excuses. You can come out and vote. You can request a mail-in ballot as well, and you can actually start voting May 19th at in the downtown, I think they call it a super site. So you can actually start voting as early as May 19th.
Okay.
But early voting in general, countywide, and I'm running countywide. So if you live in Cook County, you can vote for Meredith Hammer for judge. Anywhere in Cook County, you can vote for Meredith Hammer. I got to keep saying my name.
Right. Now, if you were currently you live on the south side of Chicago, is that correct?
That's correct.
If you were to address, if you became a judge and you can use your office to address any issue in the communities, what would be one of the issues that you would want to look at?
Well, I can't really address those issues like that. That's where we come into. I can't,
as a judge, right? Because
I
of the
just
ethics.
can't, the judicial canons. So I really can't, comment on it. But judges, as a judge, I can still, educate and inform people. Judges it comes with a lot of influence and power. So certainly I'm still going to be living on the south side of Chicago, still in my community, still helping and serving my community. So I know that there are a lot of issues. I know kind of what you're going for, but unfortunately, I really can't
talk about what you
comment, because I don't think that's not the office. The legislature. We got the three branches: the judiciary, the executive branch, and the legislature.
Okay. Right, I understand. Okay, so thanks for giving us that response. Yeah. We really appreciate it. Would you be? You said you were one of the few females, or the only female in the probate law.
Yeah. So there, the probate area of law, and I'm told this by other judges, by other attorneys, it's predominantly white male.
Okay, so would you say you were the only Black female, or the only female, or maybe one of the three females? What is it?
In probate, who as an attorney?
As an attorney, yes.
I don't know of anybody else.
Okay. Wait.
And I'm so overwhelmed with work.
All right, so in Cook County, you would say you were saying you've been a lawyer, an attorney in Cook County for how many years?
I have been an attorney for over 20 years.
Okay. Practicing in Cook County. And you're saying that when it comes to that probate area of law practice, you are one of you don't know anybody else. So we are saying that you are the only one. The only female.
I don't say that because I don't know that to be a fact, but very few. I'm one of very few.
There are a few women. Is that what you're saying?
There are a few women, and there are a few women of color.
Okay.
And, then I also have a background in the computer science and software development. So, even fewer areas. So.
Okay, cool. No, I wanted to establish something so that people can have in perspective the importance of this race to you and to the community in general, right? And so that's why I wanted to get some of these facts out.
Yeah.
And so thanks for throwing light. I was under the impression, that you and I don't know. A lot of people don't know. Is she the only female running? Is she one of the only Black women running, or one of the few Black women running? So
I am not the only. I'm one of the few practicing in that area. I am not the only Black woman running. I am the only Black woman, the only Black person running in my race. Right? The judges, it can be a complicated conversation, but countywide there are 10 vacancies. We and other Black people and women in particular have worked very hard to make sure that we're not running against each other.
Okay. So how can people help? No, so thanks for clarifying that again. How can people support you? Where can people go to get help and support your campaign?
So if you go to hammerforjudge.com, hammerforjudge.com, you can email me, contact me, let me know if you want to volunteer to help me pass out palm cards. I super need that all the time because I go to a lot of events. If you want to get a yard sign to put in your yard or put in your window, that would be helpful too, to let other people know. Connect with me on Facebook. I am all over social media. It is super helpful if you connect with me on Facebook and share my posts. I'm posting every day. You can follow me, become a part of the campaign and support me that way. It's Meredith Hammer for Judge on Facebook, but you can go to hammerforjudge.com. That's the website, and click on any one of the social media links. And you can also donate if you feel the desire to help me in that way. Definitely, you can go to Hammer for Judge, click on the donate button, and send some money, some funds over. My campaigns are expensive, and of course, go out and vote Meredith Hammer for Judge.
Thank you so much. I know we're about time, but we no, but that's fine. We can still take a few minutes because we're waiting on our next guest.
Okay.
And how difficult has it been, or if at all, if it hasn't, that's fine. But when it comes to fundraising, you talk about how difficult it is.
Tough for judges because we are in a special category. We cannot judicial candidates can't personally solicit money. We can't, not like other candidates. I can't ask for money for anyone. I can get fined and get in a bunch of trouble. But there's a new law that the State Board of Election just came out with, where we can't, judicial candidates only cannot collect money from anyone outside of the state of Illinois. So a lot of the times the judicial campaigns are largely self-funded. And so of course it makes it very difficult to run a campaign, an effective campaign. The social media, it costs. The yard signs, they cost. It costs thousands of dollars. The campaigns cost lots of money. Hiring people, it can cost lots of money. And this year in particular, with petition signatures collecting, we had to have some help to get the signatures, and they were costly because of COVID and because of it was cold. When we were collecting. So it's been difficult, but just one day at a time, and just from the kindness of people, who are willing to support me. Every $10 donation counts, right? And 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. So it all adds up. Someone once told me pennies make dollars. So it's very helpful.
Absolutely. You obviously have harnessed a lot of support for your campaign, even to get here. What do people tell you when you're on your campaign and you're interacting? What do people tell you in person? And how are they willing, in terms of their willingness to support you and how they believe in you? What are some of the words they
say that, oh, I'm so glad you showed up. I never know who's running for judge. The judges' races are so difficult. I never see anybody. I'm going to know a future judge. I want to know, I want to see more Black women, as judges. I get that a lot. I don't ever meet any judges. I don't ever meet anybody running for judge. So I'm happy that you're here and I want to support you. I want to get to know you. And I think it's super important that you get to know who you're putting on the bench. I think it's important that you know who you're going to elect in any office, but certainly on the bench, because the judges, you could see a judge one day. Judges touch the lives, our daily lives. So mostly people say, I've never even met anyone running for judge. A lot of times they'll see people running for different offices because, candidates show up, especially if they're seeking re-election, but the judicial candidates tend not to come out. I don't know the reason. It's not easy. I'm running countywide, so I suspect it could be, the financial thing as well. But a countywide race is tough. I have to get around the whole county, right? I need a lot of votes too, running countywide, as opposed to in like a sub-circuit, one of the sub-circuits. Like I live in the first sub-circuits. So that's one of the things I want to say. Again, if you live in Cook County, you can vote for me, as opposed to in a sub-circuit, the sub-circuit, if I was running the sub-circuit. But if you live in Cook County, you can vote for me as well as, the other countywide judicial candidates. But people are super happy that I'm running. They're super happy to meet me. They're super happy to learn about my background and my experience. And they're just super happy to be a part of, my journey. And, the idea that, they can help to elect someone to the bench, to the judiciary.
How optimistic are you?
Very.
Okay.
I'm very optimistic because I know I've done the work. I have been campaigning, like I said, since June. I have given it everything I've got. I said I was going for broke. I have my social media team. My team is super is phenomenal. I think I have one of the few social media teams in the business, certainly within Cook County in Illinois, who does what they do, in doing the social media for political candidates.
Is your social media folks watching the show now?
I'm sorry?
Is your social media team following the conversation?
I'm sure they've shared it and the videos and are watching it. It's Foremost Strategy.
Yeah.
They have been amazing. That we have a YouTube video out that has 128,000 views.
Wow.
I know. Cool. So I mean, a lot of people are and there's a lot of there's a lot of micro targeting they do. When I go to an event, they may target, the neighborhood around me, right? Nobody sees that kind of thing.
Right.
But so I'm very optimistic. I have gone to a ton of events. I mean, I have probably 5 events this weekend that I need to go to.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. Okay, so we will bring the conversation to an end. We have Richard Boykin in the studio. Richard Boykin is going to be joining us right after we come back from this break.
Hi, Boykin.
So, audience, so folks, you have been listening to Attorney Meredith Hammer, who is running for the Circuit Court of Cook County Judge. Did I say correctly?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so watch out for more information on her. She's waiting for her number. Once it comes, you've heard about her. You heard it from her mouth. You heard her message, her background. If you were in love with her, or if you want to know more, she's giving you her social media platforms. Please feel free to check it out. You can also reach her. Is there a number people can ring you on?
317-446-8844.
What was the number again?
317-446-8844. And then you can go to hammerforjudge.com, send an email, and remember it's Hammer Time on June 28th.
Thank you so much, Attorney Hammer Meredith. We wish you all the best and success in your race.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can have you on the show to talk about your campaign, or have you on when indeed you do get to the bench. Okay?
We'd love to.
All the best.
Good luck to you. All the best to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, we will take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Attorney Richard Boykin, who is running for the president of Cook County. We shall be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is the Progressive Minds. My name is Alinko, and we are talking to. We just spoke with Attorney Meredith Hammer, who is running for judge in the Circuit Court of Cook County. Next on the bill is Attorney Richard Boykin, who is running for the president of Cook County. Big deal. We will get to know the man in a little bit, but if you're watching us, we encourage you to share the feed on Facebook and on YouTube. We are also live on Twitter as we speak. This show is carried by Afro Star Radio, an online radio station on the East Coast. It's a Pan-African radio station. We are live right now on that platform, and we are also working seriously to be on other radio stations and under syndications. Now we will go to Attorney Richard Boykin. Sir, you are welcome to the Progressive Mind Show. I think this is about the second time. We are very excited to having you on the platform again. Attorney Boykin, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Thank you very much, Alinko, for having me on.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you for having me on. I'm running for president of the Cook County Board. I was raised in Englewood, went to Chicago Vocational High School. Then I went off to Central State University on an athletic scholarship. And then I went to the University of Dayton School of Law. I actually spent almost 13 years working in Washington, D.C. for 3 members of Congress, former Senator Carol Mosley Braun, Congressman Bobby Rush, and 10 years with Congressman Danny Davis. I came back here in 2006 and actually joined the big law firm where I worked for 13 years, national law firm. In between that time, from 2014 to 2018, I got elected to the Cook County Board of Commissioners, and that was a great position. While on the board, I actually led the effort to repeal the Sodapop Tax, the regressive Sodapop Tax. I also voted against the highest sales tax in the nation. I gave back $40,000 of my own salary back to the Cook County taxpayers. I passed a bill to ban law enforcement from choking people when they apprehend them in the county. And we did so many other things. I got rid of the tax on feminine hygiene products. I put a position in place in the Inspector General's office to deal with nothing but sexual harassment complaints at the county. So we did a lot. Look, our county right now, we have a public safety crisis. Gun violence, carjackings, retail thefts. All of these things have combined to terrorize our neighborhoods. Our children are literally dying in the streets. 21 people shot yesterday in a matter of 12 hours. It is a public safety crisis in Chicago and many of our suburban communities. We got to make sure that we make our neighborhoods safe for all of our families. And people are leaving Cook County. Last year, 90,000 people left Cook County. That's 90,000 taxpayers that would be paying in our system that left Cook County. We have an unfair property tax system, especially in the south suburbs and the north suburbs, black and brown communities, that we got to deal with. We got to fix it. The current board president protected the previous assessor while he unfairly actually assessed black and brown communities according to a study that came out. And we have the highest sales tax in Cook County. We got to deal with that. We have a number of other issues. The county is primarily responsible for public safety and public health. And so that's 80 to 90% of our budget. I'm a big bridge builder. I'm a problem solver. I want to get big things done in the county. And my number one priority is making our streets safe. And we'll do that.
Wow. Thank you so much. You got into it already, and we very much appreciate the background. We're just having a little challenge with the sound, and I'm trying to figure out what we could do about it. If you don't mind, what I'll do is I'll have you log out and try logging back in. Let's see if we're able to deal with the sound, because the message is good. We want to make sure that it's clear for everybody to get it. So we will take this short break. When we come back, let's see if we can do something about it.
At the back, I'll introduce.
Okay.
Well, we are back to the show this evening. I hope you all can hear me. Sound check, sound check. All right, we're good. I can hear myself now. Very soon we will get Richard Boykin back in the studio, but you had listened to, if you joined us earlier, we had attorney Meredith Hammer, who is running for judge in the Circuit Court of Cook County. And next is Richard Boykin. He's running for the president of Cook County. Big deal. And so we're looking forward to having him back shortly. Hopefully we would be, that would be void that technical, not audio technical glitch, whatever it is that we were experiencing. I see Dr. Portia Claudine Maskakil just joined us. Hey, Doc, good evening. Nice to see you here. Rebecca Mode is watching us. Pastor Ate, my own friend and brother. Kofi Dosu is also here. Thank you for joining us. For those of you that I didn't see for now, please pardon me. We have a few people that have joined us. We have more than 100 people watching us now. We'll try and get to attorney Richard Boykin to come to continue his conversation. But if you're looking for graphic design, logo, business cards, letterheads, websites, apps, please contact the Progressive Mind Show. We don't only do radio, but we do this graphic work as well. We do everything media. And so if you're looking for video editing, short clips, promo videos for your parties or events, or if you have an agenda you want to promote, contact us at 815-409-9123. 815-409-9123. You can also send us an email to info.progressiveminds@gmail.com. info.progressiveminds@gmail.com. And again, thank you so much for the comments that have come through. Indeed, if you need a website done, if you need quality flyers that can project your message and attract people to whatever event or party that you were trying to throw, feel free to reach us. We are available on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter is at Progressive Minds. Twitter is Minds, but if you search for the Progressive Minds on Twitter, we will pop up. We are also on LinkedIn, the Progressive Mind Show on LinkedIn. We currently started our podcast on Spotify. And so if you go to Spotify and you search the Progressive Mind Show on Spotify, you would get a lot of our episodes are there. A lot of our messages. You can tune in and get to listen to see what we have been trying to do. Our goal is to project and impact positivity. Our goal is to build our communities through this very important dialogues. And so even when we engage politicians or community leaders, the goal is how can we interact in a way that will bring positivity, that will bring upliftment, that will bring impact to our communities. So if you have something to say, if you have something positive and impactful to say, or a message out there, reach out to us. This is what we do. This is what we stand for. We are very proud that we have been very successful in this regard. And that's why we are bringing you the exchange ceremony June 4th. The exchange ceremony is coming together of the African diaspora to celebrate our humanity and our culture. It's going to be very powerful. This year, we are going to be honoring Reverend Jesse Jackson as a king, as an African chief. And this is something you don't want to miss. It's going to be a culturally very beautiful event, one that you have not seen yet in Chicago. More information at Eventbrite. If you go there and you type the exchange ceremony, a lot of the information will pop up. You can get your ticket now. Invite friends to get your ticket now before it gets rushed out, because a lot of momentum is being built for this event. Again, remember, it's going to be at the Rainbow Push headquarters. Rainbow Push headquarters, June 4th. It's a Saturday. June 4th, and it's a Saturday. All right, let's get to the conversation now. We have Richard Boykin attorney Richard Boykin back in the studio. Sir, can you hear me loud and clear?
Is that better, Alinko?
Oh my God. Why didn't you?
I'm sorry, man. I was on my cell phone when I called you before, and now I'm sorry.
we may have to do a rewind of everything you said. No,
Oh
but
my gosh, for real?
no. Wait, no, you don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. No, but thanks for sharing the information earlier. A lot of people, of course, are hearing from you the first time. And
Yes.
before we continue the conversation, who is Attorney Richard Boykin outside your profession and outside you being a candidate?
So I'm an attorney, a lifelong Democrat. I grew up in Inglewood. I have a 15-year-old son, whom I'm proud of. My mother lives on the south side of Chicago. I'm a Christian. I go to church. You know, I'm in a church every Sunday, sometimes multiple churches. And I'm an avid reader. I love policy. I love getting big things done for people. I love fixing things. And I'm a bridge builder. That's who Richard Boykin is.
Thanks for breaking that down. Really, I appreciate it. And let's see what some of the viewers or some of the questions that will be coming through. We'll get to that in a minute. But if you get to be the Cook County president, how are you going to deal with, because people complain and talk about lack of transparency, accountability, efficiency, and to the point you just made. These are the reasons why people are leaving Cook County. How is President Richard Boykin going to fix it?
So we're going to fix it because we're going to involve everyone. We're going to make sure that we listen to the people, that we respect the people, and that most of all, we work very hard day and night for the people, especially making sure that we bring policies that bring safety to our neighborhoods, that bring affordability, and that bring sunshine and sunlight. I want to make sure that people understand where we're going and that all of us are rowing in the same direction. I think a lot of times what happens, Alinko, is that people get elected to office and they generally tend to work in their own silos. But I think people expect for government to fix these problems. Look, the problems of violence are something that can be fixed. I mean, this is not something that's normal. I mean, we've become anesthetized to it because, you know, we've had thousands of people shot and killed almost every year, but that can change. I mean, we got to change it if we want to sustain our way of life in Cook County. And if we don't have safety, we don't have anything else, quite frankly, because you can't get to economic development in neighborhoods unless they're safe. So you can't get to new jobs. But the way we're going to do it, Lincoln, we're going to meet with the people. We're going to hold town hall meetings. We're going to inform the people what we're doing at every step of the process. And we're going to have an ethical administration. Look, the buck stops with me. We're not going to tolerate people shortchanging the constituents of Cook County. I expect for folks to be proactive and not just reactive. I expect for us to respond to constituents' needs and cares and concerns. When I was a county commissioner, I held more town hall meetings than any other commissioner. And I did it because I wanted to stay close to the people. The county is just a larger place than just a district. I mean, you got 5.2 million people that we'll be interacting with, but I won't be doing it alone. I'll have a team of experts, a cadre of staff that will help me to make sure that our vision for the people of Cook County is being implemented. And the people will know, because we'll be judged by making sure that we bring the violence numbers down, that we collaborate with the mayor of Chicago and other municipal mayors where there's high levels of violence, Harvey, Dalton, and other places, then we got to bring that violence down. We got to make sure that that our kids can grow up in a county where they're not afraid. There was a survey done by Block Club of Chicago back in January, where they actually said that 2/3 of the residents of Cook County feel unsafe. And of course, you remember just last week, the theater canceled its operations because of safety concerns downtown.
Yeah.
Anytime you have that happen, it's cutting into the pocketbook of government because sales tax, there's no sales tax revenue. If people are afraid to go downtown, my God, those businesses downtown are going to be hurt. Our sales tax revenue for the county will be hurt. And where do you make up the shortfall?
People, thank you so much for giving us that insight. People also say, a lot of people are saying, defund the police. And I know that you've heard about it. It's a popular chant. Police defunding. A lot, and others are also calling for community policing. Which one is the right way to go for you?
I think for me, look, I've always supported our men and women in law enforcement. When I was a county commissioner, I engaged in all sorts of activities to try to build bridges and restore trust among the community and the police. Quite frankly, when you have a few bad actors who go out there and they hurt people or they harm people in an unfair way, these things should never happen. But there are always a few bad actors. And when you have a few bad actors, what you have to do is you have to do like what a surgeon does for cancer. You have to take the scalpel and you have to cut them out. You have to cut them out, because if you don't, then that cancer metastasizes and it grows and begins to take over the whole body. Or as they would say in the olden days, one bad apple spoiled a whole bunch. So you got to get that bad apple out. You got to get it out. So that's what we do. Look, I also had a program that I tried to get passed when I was a commissioner that would have given free houses to first responders, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and teachers if they lived and worked in endangered communities for 5 years. But Cook County's got so many vacant lots and so much land that's available. We got the land bank that we can provide housing from. But I wanted to do this so that we could rebuild some of these neighborhoods and stabilize some of these neighborhoods. Look, if you know that Officer Jones lives down the street on your block, you have a level of security. That they're not going to be gang banging, smoking weed, and doing all sorts of nefarious things on your block. But so my idea is to fully fund the police. Look, 2 years ago, the current administration actually voted to defund the sheriff's police. They didn't call it defund. What they call it is a shifting of the sheriff's resources, but it was really defund. So I'm telling you what it was. The real deal is they cut his budget by about 4.5%. They shifted They shifted money from his budget to social programs. I support social programs. I support fully funding mental health, trauma treatment, all these sorts of programs, but they ought to have their separate line in the budget. You can never take from rob Peter to pay Paul, because Peter is then broke. But in this instance, when you take from the sheriff to give to something else, you have officers who feel underappreciated. You have people who feel like you don't care about them, and it sends the wrong signal to law enforcement. Also, we got to enforce the law. Look, right now, in terms of retail thefts, the statute on the books allows the state's attorney to prosecute retail thefts from $300 to $1,000. But the state's attorney has decided in her wisdom that she won't prosecute anything under $1,000. So basically the criminal element says, well, if I go and rob Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom or whatever store, I can steal up to $999 worth of product. And all they're going to do is write me a ticket and I'm going to be on my way. And that's why we have so much mayhem throughout the streets of Cook County, because we're not enforcing the law. Look, one of the sad things, Alinko, that I hear all the time, and I heard it when I unveiled my public safety plan, which is on my website at richardboykin4cookcounty.com. Encourage people to go there and read that public safety plan. It's a holistic plan. It's an achievable plan. We can do it if we all work together to get it done. But the thing that I heard from this lady was, she showed me a picture of the man who shot her 15-year-old son. He shot and killed this 15-year-old. She said to me, she asked the assistant state's attorney who was prosecuting the case, why was this guy out of jail? This guy, Alinko, had a record a mile long, and he had currently been brought in on gun charges. But for some reason, he was allowed to leave the jail on electronic monitoring based on gun charges. He was allowed to leave the jail. And then he shot her 15-year-old son and killed him. Now, under Boykin's plan, that guy's not going to leave the jail.
Yeah.
If you get charged with a gun offense, you have to stay there until your trial comes, because that's a violent offense. We don't want violent offenders on the streets causing mayhem, harming innocent people. And unfortunately, we see too much of that in Cook County. And oftentimes the people who bear the brunt of it look like me and you, Alinko. Last year, 1,000+ people killed in Cook County, the highest number in 27 years. 81% of those killed in Cook County were African Americans, and the majority of those were African American young males. And so that's a problem. I mean, the other 15% were Latinos. That's a problem. We have a public safety crisis that is going unaddressed. I will address it, and together we'll bring safety to our neighborhoods, because we know how to get it done.
That's very important. Bringing safety back to our neighborhoods is very critical, and it's one of the main reasons why people leave the county. They go to the burbs and they move into Indiana. So I think that if you're watching and listening, I think this is a breath of fresh air to hear. I think oftentimes what people also talk about is that a lot of politicians say these things, and election after election, the problem doesn't seem to go away. So before I move to my next question, which is pension scheme, how different is Richard Boykin going to approach these things, and are should the citizens of Cook County expect real change in some of these things that you've talked about, especially safety in Cook County?
Absolutely, 120%. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. And that's why I need the citizens of Cook County to do me a favor. I need you all to go vote on June 28th or before. Vote in the early voting period, because it's so important for us to go in with a mandate. A mandate means that you've given me an overwhelming vote of support, so that I can say the citizens of Cook County have demanded that we change the way we're doing business. Business as usual is unacceptable. We will bring safety because we're going to collaborate. We got some ideas. We're going to deal, Alinko, with the home. Look, there's an African proverb that says that the ruins of a nation begins in the homes of its people.
Yep.
We're going to deal with the home issues. Those single parents raising their kids who are struggling to work in 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet, the grandparents raising grandkids. We're going to make sure that government wraps our arms around those families and provides adequate support for them. We're going to make sure that young boys who are growing up without a male role model in the home or a father figure in the home, that we link them to a mentoring program. We're going to make sure that we get rid of the food deserts that exist.
We linking them to a mentoring program. That was the last statement from Attorney Boykin. Yes, he's back. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So we're going to link them to mentoring programs, but then we're going to get rid of food deserts. We got to make sure that people have access to fresh fruits and vegetables so that they can develop in their body and in their mind. I want to get rid of the lead in the water, the lead pipes. I mean, if people are drinking tap water, oftentimes they're putting lead into their body. It's hurting their brain development. And guess what? That's a jobs program, because somebody's got to replace those lead pipes. So we want to put young people into those kinds of jobs. I'll have a real jobs program for those young people who are out of school and actually at risk because they aren't doing anything positive. And so we want to get them into positive activity.
Yeah.
But these are the kinds of things that we want to do. Look, I'm authentic. I don't have anything to lose. I'm running for the people of Cook County because I'm concerned. I'm running because I grew up in an Inglewood that was violent, that has become increasingly more violent today. I'm running because I understand how to get the job done. And quite frankly, everything I've been able to to do or to touch, we've always fixed it. The sales, the Sodapop tax.
Yes, I would like to talk about that.
When-
I would like to talk about the soda tax. Yeah. And I want to talk about taxes in general, which is the main reason, another reason why people leave the county. So yes.
So the Sodapop tax, of course, President Preckwinkle voted for that. It was a tie on the board. It was an 8-8 tie on the board, and she actually broke the tie and voted for it. I led the opposition against it. I voted against it initially and led the opposition to repeal it. It blew a $200 million hole in our budget. She said that the sky was going to fall, that we were going to have to cut health services. We were going to have to cut public safety in the county. I refuse to believe that. The president is responsible for submitting the budget and actually getting that budget passed. And so she said, basically, you commissioners who actually repealed the sugar tax, you guys figure out the budget. So what I did is I actually took the budget. This is today's big plans, but I took the budget and we looked at it, and I saw that we had 1,000+ vacant and open positions that we were funding in county government. And I said, well, what are these positions? And somebody said, well, these positions are there just in case we want to put somebody in them throughout the year. I said, well, we can't fund those unless we need them. I said, we got to fund positions that we need. So we wound up cutting those vacant and open, a lot of them patronage positions. So we cut them out of the budget, and we wound up being able to balance the budget without cutting public safety or public health. And I'm proud. Look, I did that in collaboration with President Preckwinkle. We did that together. We cut that together. But it was my idea to come up with it. So I figured out how to do it, and we did it. On the sales tax, look, we got the highest sales tax in the nation right here in Cook County. What does that do? That drives people to other counties. It drives people to Indiana to buy our product. And we got some of the highest gas prices too, right here in Cook County.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you looked at them lately, but gas prices are above $5 a gallon.
Exactly.
And if you drive a Mercedes or a Lexus and you got to put premium in there, it's $6.29 a gallon. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. And then, the county board and the president wanted to vote to raise their own salaries today. It was on the agenda. I came out with a press conference the other day asking them not to do it. And lo and behold, they pulled it from the agenda today, so they didn't vote on it today. But they said that they're going to call a special session of the board to actually take it up. I'm encouraging all of your listeners, Alinko, to weigh in with the county board and to tell them, don't raise your own salaries unless you've done an effective job in reducing the crime and making sure that people have health care in our county and making sure that we're doing an effective job on our COVID response. So don't raise your own salary like that. The other thing that they wanted to do, Alinko, in their bill was to actually have automatic increases in their salary every year without having a vote on the board. It would just automatically increase. Well, the people of Cook County are struggling. They're struggling to pay the highest prices for gas. They're struggling to pay the highest prices for eggs and milk and other food. And so who are these people to actually vote to increase their own pocketbook or steal from the taxpayers? It's not right. So I told President Preckwinkle yesterday that she needs to pull it off the agenda. And she said to me, well, it's not my ordinance. I said to her, you're the president. Show leadership. Pull it off the table. And they deferred it today. So I'm happy about that. But on taxes, Alinko, I'm going to do everything I can to bring safety to our neighborhoods, expand our business base, bring back manufacturing, and increase the number of people who are working and living in Cook County. In this way, we won't have to raise taxes. because we'll have a strong, vibrant base of workers in Cook County who are contributing to our treasury. And look, what we're going to do is make sure that things are safe so people don't fear going downtown, and we don't have to close theaters and, people
carjacking.
get the revenue. Yeah.
You mentioned, thank you so much for that information. You mentioned earlier too that you had given, is it 43,000 of your salary? Something in
40,
that regard.
40,000.
Okay, the line was not too clear. So can you a little bit, just in conjunction with what you just said when it comes to salary increment and all of that?
So, when they talked about raising taxes on people, raising the sales tax or raising this pop tax, they did all of that while I was on the county board. And so when she talked about doing that, I said, wait a minute, there has to be some shared sacrifice. The county commission position is a part-time position. It's not a full-time position. And so you have another job. You have 4 staff members. And so, you can get your work done for the people, but you ought to have some shared sacrifice and give some money back to the treasury. Now, when I did it, I encouraged the other commissioners to do it. None of them did it, but I gave back $10,000 a year of my salary back to the county taxpayers for a total of $40,000. And I did it because if you're going to raise taxes on people, then we ought to tighten our belts as commissioners too, because we ought to be able to say to people, look, we understand your pain. And because you're going through pain, we want to share in that pain with you. And so that's why I did it.
Thank you so much for sharing again. You were listening to Attorney Richard Boykin, who is running for president of Cook County. It is a huge responsibility, and we want to congratulate you already for taking on this journey, Attorney Boykin. If you're watching, please share the feed so that his message can get to the targeted audience, or can get to them as many people as possible in the county, in Cook County, because this race is very, very important. A lot of things he has talked about: taxes, jobs, of course, property taxes. We're going to be talking about pension scheme or in a little bit. Very important to people. So please feel free to be part of the conversation. We have Attorney Dr. Portia says yes on the food. Rebecca says great. Attorney back. Dr. Portia again says hello, Attorney Richard Boykin. This one is coming from Mason Coolness Park. We are proud of you. Thank you so much for chiming in. We have some of them I'm not able to read, but I'll get your comments coming as we go along. If you want to ring and share your opinion, ask a question, the number is 815-277-5047. It's right on the screen at the right bottom corner. So please feel free to ring in to share your opinion or ask a question. Let's go back to Attorney Boykin. Now, we are talking about pension. Is Illinois pension scheme in crisis? If so, what is going to be done about it by President Richard Boykin?
Well, so Cook County's pension is a little bit better than the city of Chicago and in the state of Illinois. But there are a couple of things that we can do to shore up our pension. If we continue on the current trajectory, our pension will run out of money in 2047. What we have to do is we have to go down to Springfield and encourage the legislature to pass legislation to allow us to pay more into our pension than is currently allowed. I think the number that currently we're paying is about 1.54% into the system. But we want to be able to pay more so that we can shore the system up. And of course, the big drivers of where we get that revenue from to pay into the pension is the sales tax and, of course, the property tax. That's how we get the money to pay into the pensions. And so we want to pass legislation to shore them up and make sure we can do that. And I'm confident that I'll be able to lobby the legislature and get the votes to make that happen. Of course, Cook County is current. It's better than the city and better than the state. So I'm proud of that. But
Thank
I
you.
will say this, Alinko, that the people need to know that the property tax bills aren't going out on time this year because the president dropped the ball on this. The president's responsible for collaborating with the assessor and the board of review to make sure that property tax bills go out on time. The reason why it's important is because local jurisdictions depend on that revenue to fund their municipal operations, to fund their school districts, to fund their library boards, and all of that. We don't know when the property tax bills are going to go out. I mean, they haven't said, but let me tell you, the buck stops with the president of the county board. The president has the obligation to make sure that tax bills get out on time.
Thank you again, Attorney Boykin. Are there any specific rules or laws that you would want to implement, support when it comes to accessing information from Cook County government?
Oh, I want to make people, I want to make our FOIA system, easy. I want to make sure that people get whatever information that they need, as long as it doesn't violate privacy laws and that sort of thing. I will make sure that we have a fully open and transparent government. I'm going to open things up. Like, I want people to understand how much African American contractors are doing, prime contractors are doing with our health and hospital system. When I was on the county board in 2018, I actually asked the question of what the percentage of prime contracts that African American firms have with our health and hospital system. I was shocked by the answer. It was less than 1% of the prime contracts. Look, and the hospital system currently, another great failing is that they're not paying the vendors in time. Some vendors wait a year in order to get paid by our health and hospital system. They perform the service and they don't get paid for a year. An African American, a Latino firm, they can't stay in business like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so people need to get paid in a reasonable amount of time, perhaps maybe 30 to 60 days to get their payment. But these contracts are used to help stabilize communities. And so we got to actually do it. And so I'm fully committed to that and making sure that we have a fair contract process. The president, for the first time in 11 years, conducted an equity study. It took her 11 years to conduct an equity study. I'm amazed by it. This should have been done in year one to determine the equity of resources flowing to different communities and to different ethnicities. But she just did it this year.
Great. No, thank you for bringing that up. I was going to talk about what are your policies when it comes to equity and diversity in your government.
Look, Alinko, I'm going to have the most inclusive, the most diverse government that we've ever had in Cook County. I'm fully committed to doing that. I want to have connections with every community. I want everybody to benefit from county government, especially those who've been locked out and those who've been forgotten for the last 11 and a half years. I want to make sure that they have a front seat at the table in county government.
Really appreciate your response. We have a question from Dr. Portia. She says, what is your plan for more affordable housing in Chicago, not projects built to separate or degrade?
Look, we have a Cook County Housing Authority that hasn't been the most robust entity in the county. We got to make sure that that our veterans, that people who are homeless and sleeping in tents under viaducts, and people in tent cities, that they get the mental health services that they need, but that they also get a house or that they get a place where they can live. One of the things that I'm big on is SRO housing, single room occupancy housing. A good friend of mine, Eric Rubenstein, runs a number of these SROs. But I want to figure out how we can utilize our land bank, all of the land that we have, to actually put up some structures and make sure that we have affordable housing all throughout Cook County. Again, we're committed to doing it. I'm going to make sure that we have a robust operation as it relates to affordable housing. And we'll be able to measure our results, because on day one, we're going to do an audit and see where we are now with respect to affordable housing and where we're going to go in the 4 years that we're in office.
It's 7:57 p.m. Central Time, and you're watching the Progressive Mind Show live with Attorney Richard Boykin, who is running for president of Cook County. He's said a lot and has informed us, and told us about what he intends to do when he becomes president. You want to call in, please dial 815-277-5047, 815-277-5047. If you're listening and you believe in his vision for Cook County and you want to just call to say hi or just encourage him, you can do so as well. We're going to be wrapping up very soon. We'll go to him to take a few more questions and try to bring the curtains to this evening's episode. Meet the candidates. This episode is the Meet the Candidates, and this candidate is running for Cook County president. So, Attorney Boykin, how has the campaign been so far for you? Let me ask you. You said you have a 15-year-old son.
That's right.
Do you take him on campaign sometimes?
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the campaign stuff. So no, he would rather, do his acting and read and do his work. But he's doing very well in school. Very proud of him and the work that he's doing in school. But he doesn't like this campaign stuff.
The way he likes reading, he might just end up like his father, an attorney.
I hope so. That's great.
Yeah. This one, another question from yes, please let the community be involved in the process. Thanks, Attorney Boykin. Okay, so that was just a comment from Dr. Portia. How has the campaign been so far for you? Challenges, high points you want to share with us?
So, Alinko, I got in February, and petitions were due shortly after I got in, and we had a short time to get them in, but we filed 19,000 plus petition signatures. We got challenged by somebody, and so we had to go through that process, but we wound up with 11,000 valid signatures, and so the challenge was dismissed and we were approved to be on the ballot. And so for that, we're grateful. We're grateful to God and to all of those people who helped to go out and get petition signatures. I want to mention my mother. My mother wound up getting at least 3,000 signatures by herself.
Wow.
2,000 to 3,000. I'd said that I was going to at least do better than my mother, but I think I only wound up with getting about 750 signatures. But she was at Walmart, outside of Walmart, everywhere. And Mom is something else, because I was with her at a couple of events where she was getting signatures and stuff. And so, Alinko, if there was somebody who wouldn't sign my petition, she said, well, why not? Why won't you? You must be supporting that other lady. She ain't no good. I said, Mom, calm down. Alinko, I said, Mom, chill. I said, let me tell you something. I was in a church, and I was getting petition signatures in the vestibule, not inside the church, in the vestibule. But this older lady, she said, baby, I just don't want to sign it, but I'm going to vote for you. I said, thank you. So, I thought about, well, maybe she didn't want to sign it because she think maybe if signing it, she might get COVID from the pen or something like that. And so I said, Mom, sometimes people may not want to sign. It's okay. But they still might vote for me, So don't get mad if they don't sign. For example, today I was at the 95th Street stop, you know, the L stop, bus stop.
Right.
We were handing out literature, and I was with some guys, and some people didn't take it, you know. But I've been through that before. Hey, it's cool, no problem. But you still make sure you shout my name now. Make sure you tell them Boykin. Boykin is here. He's here. So you can meet him. And so there were some people who came up and met me and said, you got my vote. You got my support. They said, you running against that lady? Yeah, she got the go. You got my support. So all you can do, Alinko, is put yourself in position to offer it up. And so I put myself in position to serve the people of Cook County. And if the past is predicate on performance, then I stood up against the powers that be on that awful regressive sugar tax, and we beat them. We won. We repealed it. I didn't have to do it. I could have voted with the other folks, and nobody comes after me. Unions don't come after me. Nobody. But they put $1 million against me, Alinko, when I ran back in 2018 for re-election. You know, so we're ready to go. We're going to stand up for the people. I'm a man of principle, a man of integrity, and every chance I get, I'm going to stand up for the people of Cook County.
Thank you so much for this time, Attorney Boykin. There are a lot of Africans, Caribbeans who are watching this show, and your message about inclusivity, diversity, and all of that in your governance, I am sure gives a lot of people hope. And so we hope that we wish you the best on this platform. And at this point, we would like you to give our audience, it's 8 p.m. So we got to wrap up. We got to end the show. So give the audience your closing remarks, and then hopefully we can try and do this again.
Alinko, thank you for having me. Look, thank everybody for listening, taking out time to listen. Be a part of change. It's time for change in Cook County. We can do it together. Together, we can make our streets safer for our children, for our senior citizens. Together, we can bring about affordability for everyone. And together, we can bring about the kind of trust in government that has been lacking too long. I'm committed to doing it. You know what to do. Punch 102 for change. I'm Attorney Richard Boykin, and I would love to have your support on June 28th. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Attorney Richard Boykin, who is running for the president of Cook County. We, again, wish you all the best. And for all of you who chimed in and followed the story, you know, you've heard. And so you want to use the information that he has shared to inform your decisions. I think Johnny just came in. Johnny, I know you were late, but hopefully you got something from this, from his last point. Okay, on that note, remember, he said, remember the name Attorney Richard Boykin. And earlier we had Attorney Meredith Hammer, who is running for a judge in the Circuit Court of Cook County. Well, we would like to bring this show to an end. Next week, no, this coming Sunday, we have a special one for you. Why are the youth and millennials leaving the church? Next week, Wednesday, we shall be here again. But remember that the exchange ceremony is coming off June 4th at the Rainbow Push. We're going to be honoring Reverend Jesse Jackson as an African chief. We're bringing the diaspora together to celebrate our culture and our beauty. So go on Eventbrite, search for the exchange ceremony, and get your tickets now. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We just had Ida coming here. Good luck, Attorney Richard Boykin. You have my vote. This is from Dr. Ida Abraha within, I think she's in the Ethiopian community. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, it was a good time. It was a pleasure having you, Attorney Richard Boykin. Good luck again in your endeavor. And we hope to see you all later. Have a wonderful evening. Remember, to whom much is given, much is required. This has been your host, Alinko. See you again. Have a good night. Bye-bye.